Hey guys, welcome into an episode of MarketAbilities. What is MarketAbilities? It's a podcast. It's a podcast that we need you to follow. We need you to get on board. We need you to come and introduce us to your businesses, and let's win this thing together.
That's good. I like winning together.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to win separately.
No. You want to be victorious with your team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a rising tide lifts all boats.
Amen. Preach. What else you got?
That's it right now.
Okay. We'll have something
There'll
better
be
towards
more.
the end.
Yeah.
Okay. So I thought it would be a good idea today to talk about actionable ROI, that all important return on investment, because we've been dealing with that of late. And the way that we demonstrate that, the actionable ROI, is we'll present case studies. You know, here's where we began. Here's where we are now.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the growth. Is it actually resulting in something?
Yeah, it's good to review that kind of stuff because of, going back to the 80-20 principle.
Yeah.
Is, Pareto's principle is 80% of your results comes from the 20% of what you do, and also vice versa. 80% of what you do only results in 20% of the results.
Right.
And if you don't review it, you could just be spending so much time on things that aren't actually returning on the investment.
So important.
Yeah.
Repeat
Huge
that.
waste of time.
Repeat that. So important. Say it again.
So you could be spending so much time on things that are not actually impacting the return on investment, or if it is, it's very little. And if you took that time and put it into the spot where it would make a big return, the growth would be insane.
Yeah. So we tell people all of the time, even if you don't work with us at Growing Media, make sure that you're getting your analytics or your insights, at the end of the month. Heck, it's a live dashboard. Ask for it weekly if you want. I would say don't watch it that closely because sometimes it takes a little while to get people and to change their pattern of behavior and what they're doing.
Right.
But you've got to have measurable results. So you know how, like you just said, what's working, what isn't, how do we need to tweak, how do we need to resolve this issue to ensure that we get over this hurdle?
Yeah, and even in more simplistic terms, what do we need to do less of? And what do we need to do more of?
It's so smart. Yes.
And that's it.
It is so smart because you can actually wind up spending a lot of money on things that do not help at all.
Yeah.
It's actually hindering your efforts.
100%. You know what Steve Jobs once said?
What did Steve Jobs once said?
He said, it's a lot harder to simplify things than it is to complicate things. Like it's always easier to add more things to your docket or to add. It's like whenever we're speaking of marketing in particular, it's always easy. It's easy to just add another platform to just keep posting on these types of things and whatnot. But it's hard to take it away and do more of what's working.
Yeah. Just do really well at what is working. And, that's sort of what we've started to tackle on these case studies is we want to show you. And again, I've gotten a little bit of flack about this because they say, well, Angie, you say that views and likes and all that doesn't necessarily matter. I say that in a business. Okay. Yeah. People aren't going to sit down and engage in social media with a business. They're not going to go, oh, I like your page. I want to be your friend. I want to follow you. Yeah. They're looking at who they want to represent them in a suit, a pending suit. They're looking at a contractor that they may want to build their home. So what we have to do and what we're tasked with doing is when we got the business, here's where we were. Here's what they were doing. Successful.
Yeah.
People knew about them, right? But how do we take them to that next level? And so many times people want to say, well, I'm not getting a lot of likes or views. That's okay. You're still trending. You're in their feed. They're seeing you. It's there. We don't even realize that subliminally we're seeing it. But then how are they interacting with that content? Do we have Google ads out there that they're clicking on and coming to your website? That's why if someone says to you, we need the back end information of your website, that's so we know where they're coming from.
Yeah. I mean, how are we supposed to know if this type of video or this type of piece of content resulted in this many people filling out your form and then you getting from cold leads to warm leads?
Yes.
Yes.
And that's another reason I would say be super careful. And I'm still blown away that people want to pay more for AI. They're like, I'll pay more. Oh, you're going to use AI? No. You still have to have that human element. You still want to crunch your numbers. You still want to look at those conversion rates, and you still want to look at where they're coming from. And you run each of those down. And AI may do a pretty good job of saying, hey, here's what I found about your business online. Here's what it's saying. But is it a true picture? who did it? Is it a carbon copy of a business
Right.
that's like yours? And by the way, that's how AI works, you know? So it's just such a slippery slope.
Yeah, AI works based on history. It's not always based on what's working immediately right now, especially with things that are changing. And, humans, we
change constantly.
We're just everywhere.
Yeah. A little too busy, actually. But, that I would say stay tuned, because if nothing else, on growing media side of things, on our socials, we try to put those up from time to time, the case studies. And what that does is it acts as an indicator for you. Like, what should I be looking at? What should I make sure is in place if I'm working with another agency or another group? Or maybe you have an office staff and you want to challenge them with, going to get a larger customer base for you.
Well, and then, and it also, ultimately for you specifically, it saves you time, because then you're thinking about what actually matters and what doesn't matter. Because there's so many people trying to tell you to do so many things, or think about this, like this is the key number, this is the key thing. But if you're running a business and the sales aren't going up from the things that you're doing from the marketing, that's the only indicator that matters.
That is.
Like, literally.
I've always said that. They're like, is it working? I'm like, what's in your cash drawer?
Yeah, right. Have sales gone up?
Right. Yeah. And we've always had a philosophy here that if you give us one check, we know we have to give you 3 in return. That's the only way it's going to work. And now I will say this, I can't believe we're like boosting other agencies, but you may be on the other side of the world and you just have somebody you want to work with. Maybe your daughter runs a business or whatever. The one thing that I would say is, there's actually like 10 things I would say. But the one thing that I would say is, again, hold them accountable and review things, and then ask very pointed questions. If they say 26 phone calls came in as a result of our efforts this month, do you remember your phone ringing that much?
Right.
Do you have someone answering the phone? Do you have a recording system? Checks and balances. Yeah. That's still another thing that's so important.
Yeah. It's oftentimes we'll bring the people to their website and they'll fill out the form, but there's something messed up on their website.
Yeah.
Or even worse, we get them to go to their website, but their website kind of sucks. And it's hard to contact them. It's hard to place an order. It's hard to do things. And if you make it hard for people, like there's only so much that marketing can do. If people get on your website and get frustrated, can't figure it out, they're just going to click off.
Yeah. And let's define sucks. Okay. When your website sucks, that means it's not performing for you. And why is it not performing? We went through it. We went through it as an agency not long ago. We revamped the whole website because you had to go through so much before you could find that I want to connect, or I want to learn more about you, or I want to call you, I want to work with you. So same thing with other businesses. If you're selling something, have it for sale at the very top, have it for sale in the middle, have it for sale at the bottom. Yeah. You're always able to buy that product.
Yeah. Like in your top bar, you need to have each section, but whatever the thing is, whether it's buy now, contact us, fill out a
Learn
form,
more,
it needs
whatever.
to be in bold. It needs to be in a color. It needs to be stick out, because that's the main thing. Like if people are clicking on your social media to go to your website, there's most of the time they're already ready to contact you, and they're trying to figure out the proper way to do it.
Yeah, they're sold.
And so if you're getting in the way of that, you're getting in the way of your revenue.
Yeah. And okay, for older folks, think of it like this: anything below the fold. Remember those days? So if you have to scroll and scroll and scroll again before you can call or buy or learn more, you're gone. You lost them.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate, because again, those are very small, slight mistakes that people make, that until you have someone look at your website, and hey, I've learned a lot from guys that's all they do. They build websites that will convert for you, that are built to do business. And the things that you learn, like the text you need to include, and placement and availability, and edit. I think it's the edit. That's a word that a lot of people forget too, is you get carried away and you're like, well, I want to tell you all about us first.
Right.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
No, they want to buy what you have. And then if you become friends, I can learn about you.
Yeah. They want to know that whatever your service or product is will solve the problem that they currently have that they clicked on for.
Man, I read a book like that right there was the title not long ago. It's like, what does it do for me and why do I care? And do I want it? That's all they care about.
I mean, think about it. When you go to book like a hotel or like a vacation place, do you ever read the back history on the hotel or? I've
kind of started with reviews now though, because
reviews are fine. I'm talking about you go to the hotel website and do you click on the About Us section?
No, I don't want to know about that.
No one cares.
No, nobody cares.
Click on, I want to see what the rooms look like.
And the reviews.
Does it look clean?
Yeah, it doesn't look clean, and then establish if it is clean.
Yeah.
And pay attention
am
to
I going to get bed bugs or not?
Ooh.
Like these are questions that I want to know.
Yeah. Yeah. Do not go to places that they've used those words like, no.
Yeah.
Bad. I just want to reverse from that because that really drew an awful picture in my mind.
Very sorry.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, so, that's the thing that we do here is we've made enough mistakes in 14 years that you don't have to make them. And a lot of reputable agencies out there, they're doing the same thing. They're like, man, people have spent a lot of money unnecessarily. And it really comes down to action, reaction, performance-based in the world of digital, not necessarily trusting AI, but trusting the numbers and making sure the numbers add up to what you're showing in your place of business.
Yeah, because if the numbers don't add up, then you're in trouble.
It ain't working.
Yeah.
And that relationship's not going to go on very long. And it's actually going to become, heated. It's not going to be pleasant. We've run into it before. I would say, give your representative or whomever it is that's trying to help you get on the right course of action 3 months. 3 months is a realistic timeline because they could be correcting things. Sometimes you got to blow it up to build it back better.
Yeah.
And then you've got to get it in front of some people argue the rule of thumb. Do you have to see it 3 times? Do you have to see it 7 times before you act? I don't know.
It's all dependent on the person. It's all dependent on their need for the thing that you are providing, Like sometimes it's a perfect fit and it's the first time they see you, then they order and then they work with you.
Like,
sometimes it's the 7th or 8th or 12th time that they're like, oh, I've seen this several times. Maybe I'll check them out.
Yeah. Another frame of thought too is I may not be considering building a home today, but at some point in my life, I'm going to consider that. Yeah. And I need to think of not 12 names, I need to think of one because you've been ever present in my feed, online, doing not only great work that I've taken screenshots of, but I see wonderful testimonials. I see that you're tied into community. I see that you're doing a lot of things for my kids' ball team.
Yeah.
All those things matter. I see that you're doing open house day and community involvement. All those things matter.
Yeah.
So, that's the other thing is sort of that balanced approach that you talked about earlier.
Yeah, because it matters.
It does matter.
And, you want to come off as human, right? Because within the world of AI that we're in right now, if you can have the human element to it, I think people ultimately want that. There's something special about it when you come across a video on your phone or something that's just like a family doing something funny or fun or something. Yeah. It feels better than the AI stuff that I see. It's
crazy because some people have gotten so good at that. Like you start in on a story, you're like, man, this is a good story. I've had to start going back up to the top if it says sponsored.
Yeah.
It's an ad.
Right.
So I normally leave because I know they're just going to try to sell me something at the end. But back to what you said, we're all looking for that engagement, that personal story, that relatability.
Yeah.
So, maybe that's a word to people who are doing these sponsored ads. There's probably a better way to do that. So, the story's great, but if I see sponsored, I know that is it genuine? Is it disingenuine? I don't know.
Yeah, it's very questionable.
It is. But I love that one recently, and I like to give people shout outs, so we'll do that. A brother and sister. The brother had dealt with, maybe he was dealing with hair loss or his mom or his sister, he noticed it. And she was having really bad skin problems.
Oh.
And they went and took a look at their shower head and the water and the way it's transferred. And they solved a real problem. And now they have a big, successful business. But it came down to sharing their story and how did you get to this point to want to solve this?
That's cool.
Yeah. I love that and I want to support them, And I'll wait and see, okay, what are you doing differently in the shower head and what are people saying about it? But I still think that's so cool that a business is born from that. And then you have the lead line online right now. This is 2026. The guy says, I took all of my savings and sunk it into oatmeal. the dude that started Overnight Oats.
Wow, that's crazy.
He gave it everything he had.
Yeah.
And look at him now. I mean, I don't really care for the Overnight Oats, but a lot of people do.
I don't know if I've ever even had that.
Oh, he's very popular. People love it. It's just an easy on the go.
Yeah.
You know, we've had a couple chefs in the kitchen prepare it, and it's apparently a good thing. So that's good. And let's continue shout outs. I love shout outs.
Yeah.
What have you seen lately that's really
That's a good question. It's funny, I've glossed over all my ads.
So you're not seeing anything that's compelling, interesting?
No, not necessarily. That's actually a really good question. There hasn't been something that's caught my eye in a while that I've been like, oh man, that was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been motivated. I've seen a couple of things. And I think part of it is because I talked to you not long ago. We had talked about a real shift on this show where we feel like every business can be successful if God, of course, and kindness is at the core. So I've just seen lately these people online and their stories, and I can't scroll past it, in particular, children or young people dealing with things and hardships and not necessarily wanting answers and a cure or whatever for them, but for people that they know and for people who will be coming up, behind them. And I'm like, man, we almost just need to open this whole thing up to a platform of if you want to give and help this kid or that kid and just one right after the other, because there's such a need. There really is in this world right now of help for, people who need help. Yeah. And we all have the ability to make a difference.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't always have to help with money.
No.
Sharing. Or even your time is more expensive than your money. So.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
I love that. Look at how we've come full circle. And, again, it's just the checks and balances. Remember that. And that's what we try to do on these podcasts is just give you a little think about. And, hey, if you want us to look at your case study, if somebody has presented something to you, I would say give us something that, some reports before they started. Give us the reports now. We're happy to take a look at that and see what we think.
Yeah,
see what's happening there. So,
yeah.
But did we mention video is king? I mean, we were a video production house first.
Yeah.
So tell your story, get on video, show us what you got, make sure there's a buy button. You're going to be super successful. And when you make your first $1 million, we would like 6%.
6? Wow.
Just 6. That's back in the day, agents, that's what they would take is 6%.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
I feel like it's fair. Very doable and it's very fair. I mean, there's no fine print under here, so we're just looking to help you, help us, help everybody. So is that it?
That's it.
Okay. Wrap it up.
I don't know how to wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Please follow us, MarketAbilities Podcast on social media, and then go to growingmediamarketing.com if you guys need help with your marketing, and whether it's consultation or whether we come out and do a full-fledged video shoot.
You'll love it.
And put you guys on the map.
You will love it.
Yeah.
And I'm losing my voice, so we got to go.
Okay. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.